I am not going to predict gold prices or silver prices. So this can be a slightly boring subject for you. But never mind, it is going to be a very, very important subject for you. Because the gold prices may fluctuate, but this Money Laundering Act, there is no chance of any fluctuation, as the government don't intend to change the Money Laundering Act at all. Most of you must be aware that Arun Jaitley was a finance minister prior to Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman. And about 7-8 years back, Mr. Arun Jaitley announced that gold is an asset class. So everybody clapped that day that gold is an asset class. And you know, now gold has a real power in our industry. And it does have. So banks started taking gold positively. The banks started giving loans to the bullion dealers, to the jewelers. But what does asset class means? Asset class is, let me give you an example. What is asset class? In your balance sheet, you must be having a motor car, which is an asset class. You must be having some mutual fund, which is an asset class. You must be having some property, which is asset class. But there is one common thing, or you may have some shares, that is also an asset class. But there is a one common thing amongst all the asset class. And all these asset class are required to be registered. Can you buy a motor vehicle? Can you buy a car without registration? Can you buy? You cannot buy. Can you buy a house without registration? Can you buy a share without demat account? So technically you are registering yourself. Can you buy? You cannot buy. Can you open a fixed deposit account with your bank without giving some KYC or without registering yourself in the bank? No. Can you buy a mutual fund? No. And that is why in 2020, hallmarking was made mandatory, because now you cannot buy even a jewelry without registration. Have you understood why the hallmarking was introduced in jewelry business? So from 2020, every person who is buying jewelry is automatically getting registered, or a jewelry which is kept in my house is automatically registered with the Bureau of Indian Standard. This is called asset class. So after 2020, whatever jewelry you are buying is an asset class. Now what connection it has with the money laundering? So if you have bought any jewelry, or if you have sold any jewelry after 2020, which is not hallmarked, then you are violating Money Laundering Act. I hope all of you are jeweler or a bullion dealer. And how many of you know that Money Laundering Act is mandatory for all the jewelers? Are you aware? Come on, are you aware or not? Are you aware that all of you are required to register with Financial Intelligence Unit? And if you are not registered, you can be imprisonment, you can be prosecuted for 6 months, and there is no bail available. Are you all aware? You are not aware. Now this is the pity of our industry, very sorry state of our industry, that such educative seminar, I am glad to see that this, thanks to Maleshwar Rao and Chetan Bhai and Shrikant for arranging this seminar, at least I am able to tell you that you all are required to register with Financial Intelligence Unit. And I don't think in this auditorium, not even 5 may have registered, or not even 1 may have registered. Now what is the rule for registering in Financial Intelligence Unit? Initially on 4th May 2023, the Government of India came out with a circular, with a notification that all the jewelers are required to register irrespective of their turnover with Financial Intelligence Unit. Then we at IBJA approached to the government and we told government that there are about 3 lakh jewelers in our industry and it is impossible for every jeweler, particularly for the small jeweler, to register with Financial Intelligence Unit. So government said, well fine, that we understand, but all banks are registered, all stockbrokers are registered, all financial units are registered, all finance companies are registered, why can't jewelers get registered? We explained our plea to them and they understood. So they said all jewelers having turnover above 500 crore rupees are required to register with Financial Intelligence Unit. How many of you have a turnover of above 500 crore? You may or may not have. Anyway, that's not the point. But what happens to those jewelers whose turnover is below 500 crore? So government said that all the jewelers whose turnover is below 500 crore rupees must be a member of an association, must be a member of the association who is registered with a financial institution and who appoints their own nodal officer. So if you are not a member of any association, if your turnover is below 500 crore rupees and if you are not a member of any association who is registered with Financial Intelligence Unit, and if you are caught in money laundering activity or otherwise, if you are asked whether you are registered or not, then there is no bail available. You can be prosecuted for 6 months. Let me tell you. This is a serious law and the entire industry is a serious offender to this law. And government is taking this very seriously. You may very soon see some radical changes to ensure that every one of you is registered or at least registered with some association. Now in India, how many associations have registered with Financial Intelligence Unit? I think only 3 associations have registered. Only 3 associations. IBJA is registered and I am the nodal officer for IBJA. So if your turnover is less than 500 crore rupees, please become member of IBJA so that at least you are complying with registration of PMLA. And if you are not, then you are taking own risk. Now what this law says? The law says if you make any transaction above rupees 50,000 in cash, if you make any transaction, whether it is a purchase transaction or whether it is a sales transaction, above rupees 50,000 in cash, you must obtain KYC from the person with whom you are making a transaction. It can be a sale transaction, it can be a purchase transaction. So if I am coming to you and buying jewelry worth 50,000 or more, or say about 70,000, then you must obtain KYC from me and you must properly store those KYC along with the invoices in your files. If you are not doing this, you are violating Money Laundering Act. Most of the jewelers always presume that 2 lakhs is the limit, but 2 lakhs is an income tax limit. It is not a limit for money laundering activity. It is not a limit under the Money Laundering Act. Many jewelers come and tell me that, sir, our neighbor is not taking any KYC, and if we start taking, we'll lose customer. So that's a call you are taking. If your neighbor wants to go to jail, and if you also want to join him, you are most welcome to do so. I cannot help you because see, whatever I am saying what the law says. Please don't take it otherwise. The law clearly says you must obtain KYC from all the people with whom you do a cash transaction above rupees 50,000. Now what this KYC means, you must either obtain Aadhaar card. PAN card is not a KYC. Please remember, PAN card is not a KYC. You can obtain Aadhaar card, you can obtain his bank account details, you can obtain. So there has to be one address proof and one photograph. So for photograph purpose, you can take a PAN card, but for address proof, you need to take either a bank statement copy or an Aadhaar card or his electricity bill or his house receipt or something you must have. So this is the requirement for KYC. All transactions from 50,000 and above. All transactions from 2 lakhs and above in cash, you must obtain PAN number, and I think most of the jewelers are fully aware about it, and they are obtaining PAN card also. Thereafter, what the government says, so this is the registration requirement, then there is a KYC requirement, and then there is a reporting requirement. Now, what is this reporting requirement? The reporting requirement says that if you enter into a cash transaction with any single person above rupees 10 lakhs in one particular month, this must be reported to the Financial Intelligence Unit. Now you can say that my turnover is below 500 crore rupees, so where do I report? So in that case, you must report this to an association who has appointed a nodal officer or who is registered with financial institution, with Financial Intelligence Unit. If you do a cash transaction of rupees 10 lakh with one person in 1 month above rupees 10 lakhs and you do not report, you are grossly violating the Money Laundering Act. Sometimes what happens? First, father will do some cash transaction of say 1,90,000, then his wife will do, then his son will come, then his daughter will come, then his brother will come, then his mother will come, then his father will come. This is also called money laundering because the entire family transaction is exceeding rupees 10 lakhs rupees in cash in one particular month. So you must be fully aware that how much violation you are doing. Normally you won't find any officer at your doorstep when you do such cash transaction unless that person is caught. So most of the time we hear that the ED raids are conducted at one particular jeweler. These ED raids are part of money laundering findings, violation of money laundering. Why these ED raids are conducted? They are normally conducted for bank frauds, where you launder money, where you try to take bank's money and try to convert this money into some other channel, or try to divert that money, or you bring in black money, you try to deposit that money in your bank account, and you try to issue a check out of that. Suppose you have taken say 1,50,000 rupees cash from 30% in one particular day, so which is about 45 lakhs rupees, and they are all interconnected transaction, and then you issue a check to your bullion dealer. It is 100% money laundering transaction. It means you have converted 45 lakhs rupees black money into a white money. So these money laundering transactions are subject to enforcement directorate jurisdictions, and normally they raid these jewelers whenever they find such transactions. Now, how these raids take place? Normally, they don't come to jewelers' house in the initial stage. First, when some bureaucrat is caught or some politicians are being raided and they say that, sir, we have purchased whatever jewelry has been seized, we have purchased this jewelry from this particular jeweler or that particular jeweler, then they will come to you. If you are keeping proper records of KYC and you say that, see, I have ensured that all the KYC details are with me, then they might not prosecute you. So you will have to convince them that for every transaction above rupees 50,000, we are obtaining KYC. If you do not obtain KYC, you are in suit. So now a different kind of money laundering transaction are also coming which is about cyber frauds and cyber criminals. They are using this kind of money laundering activity. They will put money in your bank account, and then your bank account will be freezed by somebody, for which the next session would be taken by Advocate Mr. Pankaj Bafna. So I will not go into details of those money laundering transactions. They are within the purview of cyber fraud and cyber threats. So we have to be, as a jeweler, we need to be careful. We need to ensure that we obtain proper KYC. We get ourselves registered on a regular basis, and we become the member of some association who are registered under money laundering activity. The other important factor is, most of the time the jewelers say that the customers are not giving us the KYC details. In that case, at most what you can do is fix up a camera. Normally camera is always there at your shop. Fix up a camera at your cash counter, and you can save those details in your DVD or through the pen drive for years together, because normally this DVD erases those data in about 7 days or 1 month's time. But you just save those data, put it in some hard disk. Hard disk are not expensive. So whenever somebody comes to you, you can at least show that somebody has come to me. Now there is another interesting type of money laundering activity. Normally, I have seen that there is exchange of gold. Exchange of gold, of old jewelry is given and new jewelry is purchased. So when the old jewelry, say about old jewelry of 6 lakhs is given and new jewelry of say another 6 lakh is purchased. So old jewelry sold 6 lakhs and new jewelry purchased 6 lakh. Whether this will fall into money laundering? This will fall into money laundering, because the total of both the transaction, though there was not a single rupees cash purchase, cash transaction, but indirectly it was a cash transaction, because the person has sold 6 lakh worth of jewelry and he has purchased 6 lakh worth of jewelry, and both the transaction you have settled in your books of account through a journal entry, and this is also a money laundering. Technically, when he sold the jewelry of 6 lakhs rupees, you should have given him check of 6 lakhs rupees. And when he purchased new jewelry, you should have taken the check of 6 lakhs rupees. But in most of the jewelers don't do this, and so this is also one type of money laundering transaction. Now many people ask me, sir, 6 lakh rupiya to hai, it is only 6 lakhs rupees, not a big figure. But let us presume that somebody comes to you with a 1 crore rupees jewelry, and he says, exchange it for another 1 crore rupees jewelry. I will take this jewelry and purchase the new jewelry. Then what happens? So jewelers who are netting of transactions, this is 100% money laundering transaction. Because by squaring of the transaction, you are also violating income tax law. Because when you purchase jewelry about 10,000 rupees, you should have given him check. And for selling the jewelry, that particular person should have paid the capital gain tax. So he is not paying capital gain tax. You are violating Money Laundering Act. You are violating Income Tax Act. So you are liable for prosecution in that case also. Well, I think we can take 1 or 2 questions if somebody has some question about money laundering. Otherwise, this is a very long topic, and I think part of it will be taken by the Advocate Pankaj Bafna ji.
The 3 associations...
Can I request the volunteers to please pass the mic?
The 3 associations...
I can't hear. Can you just...
Transactions jewelers, there is 3 associations you told. We need the addresses.
The 3 associations are IBJA, GJC and GJPC. So all the 3 addresses you already have.
Namaskar, sir. Sir, what about bank transactions, sir? It is
No, money laundering law does not apply to banking transactions. It only applies to cash transactions.
no need any KYC.
No need to do any KYC. In bank transaction, if you are exchanging money through the bank, then the KYC is already available with the bank. So there is no question of violating any money laundering act. Sir, please understand, PAN card has nothing to do with money laundering transactions. PAN card is applicable for income tax purpose. For money laundering, you must know that they are brother and sister, they are father and mother, they are father and son. You must know this, because if a family is caught, then you will be 100% caught.